Because you're a rebel.
No, that's not rebellion. This is, like I said, it's 50-50. You wanna, listen, this is not 1950. Okay, we both. This is
in 2013.
Yeah, this is 50. I don't mind. Some women wants 75. No, 50-50. I could pay some bills too. I don't mind. I'm saying, but you're gonna respect me.
Wonderful, thank you very much. This is it, the Truth Breakfast Show. This platform is intended to enhance national discourse. This morning we have with us a lawmaker, a member of the National Legislature, Representative Richmond Anderson. Well, in 1955, the National Legislature passed an act creating the Monrovia Industrial Free Zone, the Monrovia Industrial Zone. During the war years here, many people moved in the area, they erected structure, they've not got accustomed to the area, and they went to their lawmaker asking him to do something about that. And he submitted a bill to the House of Representatives calling for the National Legislature to undo the 1955 legislation and of course make the area a residential zone. So we call him this morning to talk about the logic propelling that ideas and how that fits within the national development agenda of the country. Good morning, Representative Richmond Anderson, and welcome to the Truth Breakfast Show.
Good morning, Mamadee. Good morning, Solo. Thanks, I must say thank you for your cruiser studio. Okay. I'm really shocked because coming from Ashmont Street, struggling it down here on Tupu Road, I'm impressed. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. How do you feel being here this morning?
I feel great and very proud. The Renaissance Communications Network.
Okay, so how is the Easter break?
Well, it's not really a break, but it's tension pack.
You've closed the legislature, you've gone home?
Well, I'm working, in fact, right now, because of this program, I should have been in the Children's Factory Community Market to install a water tank for the market people in Children's Factory. But because of this,
you're not going to the Capitol Building?
I'm not going to the Capitol Building today.
Because May 1st. You want Easter break?
Yeah, Easter break.
Which I see as very unconstitutional.
Well, that's your own thinking, but again, you cannot expect.
No, but it's unconstitutional. This is a secular country. Why? I don't feel foreign as a Muslim, and I see you taking Easter break, and I pay for your time. You represent me.
Yeah, but
and then you taking Easter break. That break is religious, and the state should not be seen as practicing anything.
Well, it is religious.
Well, it's a tradition. I don't have a problem with it. I just have to express that,
But you also have your own willpower to even ask for a Ramadan break.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a religious tolerant.
When the definition of democracy I like?
No.
See, democracy is the will of the majority, but the majority must be sensitive to protect the interests of the minority.
Yeah, of course, but
yeah, you are as a lawmaker. You taking Easter break, Ramadan. You don't care about me.
No.
Your fellow brothers who are Muslim.
Where as an individual, I am concerned because like so now.
Honorable is simple. It's unconstitutional, man. Our constitution is. It's a secular country, but you, the lawmakers, taking Easter break.
Well, again, that was not just.
I hope I'm not picking first this morning.
No, not first, Mamadee. We're just trying to warm up the pace, the platform, so we can get.
I don't know why lawmakers will be taking Easter break. I don't understand.
All right, why?
You see, the last time my son came home, he said school is closed because they're going for Easter break. I said, wow. But anyway. That's it, we accept that. So let's talk about this new thing, this thing you're talking about. You want the National Legislature to undo the 1959 legislation that created the Monrovia Industrial Zone because you have people living there. You want them to be given the opportunity to stay there.
Thank you, Mamadee. Okay. This is very important to begin with. The industrial park was created in 1960. The law was enacted in 1965, and where government expropriated 4,000.
So it's not 1955.
No, not
65.
1965.
Thank you for the correction.
And it was approved and printed into handbill in 1966.
Okay.
Now, in that document, government expropriated 4,402 acres of land, starting from Stone Creek Bridge to Pinsville, that is the second community. Now, at the time, today, the foreign ministry looking at there, it was built in 1979 by Cubic. That place was a forest. Can you imagine that a mansion? It was a forest. Now, compare that to 1966. The entire Ghana's field was a dark forest. Now, government at the time did not see or anticipate any population explosion in Montserrado County in Monrovia. So they set that place aside to carry on what you call industrial activities, because the population in Monrovia now even up to 20,000 persons. As time went by, the population began to grow, to swell, and in the early 80s, there was a national calamity in Nickelton and West Point where an erosion took place. People were displaced, and the government then headed by the late Doe, gave those people the right and permit to squatter in that chicken factory community. Now, the war came. We saw what happened. People migrated from the counties and came to Montserrado County, came to Monrovia, to total about a little over 1 million people in Monrovia as compared in the 80s and in the 60s and 70s. But beside the point, if government through the NRC is saying that carrying people to court, yeah, it is their right to carry people to court, but it has to be very, very, very objective in doing this thing. If the land that was expropriated by governments commenced from Stone Creek Bridge, that is the after Jamaican Road, coming all the way to Pinsville area, today the 4,402 acres.
So we don't have private land under there?
No, I mean those land have all been occupied, because if we go by the document,
No. I know for sure, as a matter of fact, that there are private landowners in that area.
they have private land owners.
Yeah.
But now,
So how come they became private landowner? Who did they buy
well,
the land?
this is the question we need to ask, because if we had that place expropriated in
How many acres are you
1965,
talking about?
4,402 acres. Today, NIC is claiming only a little over 1,000 acres. What become of
That is the chicken factory
3,000
It is-
acres?
it
That's
is
the
the-
chicken factory community.
Yeah, that's the chicken factory
Is the
community.
1,000 acre the NSC is asking for,
Right.
and you are resisting that.
I'm not resisting. I'm trying to let the law take its course, because, like, if you have chicken factory within the industrial park that had a total of 4,402 acres, what becomes of the 3,000 acres? So meaning that people have encroached on that land from Stone Creek Bridge to Pinsville. So if we are to do a holistic claim of that land, it should begin from Stone Creek Bridge to Pinsville. But if you just single out chicken factory, who went there through destitution, through a plight that was sought by the then government, the answer is unfair.
Do you understand the motive, the rationale behind the creation of the Monrovia Free Zone?
Exactly.
And you want the government of Liberia to squash that?
No, I am not saying commercial squash it, but the point is, logically speaking, the industrial park at its originality does not even exist again. Because if we say from Stone Creek
No,
Bridge,
you just said you have 1,000 acre remaining that they are claiming.
again, that has been encroached upon by people. During the war days, people came and they settled, and besides, people have
So the NRC is trying to correct that. Those who moved there illegally, the NRC is asking them to
the
leave.
very NIC people gave those people right to reside over there, because even some of their officials or employees were dismissed for doing that. Now you cannot get the people
That's a squatter right. The squatter right has
they
some.
sold it to the people. They sold it with cash to the
But
people.
you agree that that conveyance was illegal.
It was illegal.
Okay. So
But now-
the NRC want to correct it.
Yeah, okay, but again, in correcting that, you must find some measure, because to look at some variables, you have over 47,000 residents in that chicken factory. You have over 3 mosques in that chicken factory. You have about 23 churches in that chicken factory. You have a structure of over 2,000 structures. You have schools. You have junior high school. You have about 8 high schools, junior high schools, elementary schools. They have 3 markets there. Because what we did was to do a
So it's just not practical to move there.
to move there, because where would you settle or resettle over 4,000 residents who have stayed there over 30 years? You know the law. When you occupy a land for over 20 years, it becomes yours.
No, not necessarily, except that the owner did not express any intent of taking it.
Well, again, we have to look at some of the intricacies, because if we say we're going to have those people removed by force, our peace is very fragile. and you have the 15 counties represented in that chicken factory. I am not saying, like the other day, somebody myself discussing and say, well, suppose government comes.
So you think they are claiming adverse possession?
Yeah, adverse possession, but that shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, but the NRC has been complaining. The 20 years did not have, the absence of the NRC or the silence of the NRC did not go up to 21 years.
Well, when the NRC was created in the first place.
No, you tell me.
No, we need to look at that, because the NRC, I believe, started really functioning when they had this industrial free zone established across the Bushra Island, where they decided for them to monitor some other thing. So now, but the reality here is, what obtained in the 60s, in the 70s, has changed today.
Okay.
The picture has changed. I mean, you were talking about a dark forest where government did not envisage the coming of more people into Monrovia. Today, Monrovia is overpopulated. I remember in 1982-83, when the Garnersville belt was cleared by the then Doe regime, people went to Doe community. It was just a piece of land. In fact, we used to call it waterway. I was a founding member of that community, all right, to sort the plight of the people and give them status to reside there. Today, Doe community has become a city. It has become a city. From waterway, it has become a residential area, and today, in fact, even produced a lawmaker in the 52nd legislature. So if we are saying over 47 residents of Chicken Factory can just be pushed, I mean, it's not realistic.
Somebody is saying that as a politician, you want to make, you want to score some political goals here because the people have come to you, so you believe in them. You want to do this advocacy to get some political capital out of it.
No, Mamadee, it's not about getting political capital. It's about passion. Because the last time those guys or the people or petition me, I read on their placards, some of the placards, we have nowhere to go. I almost shed tears. I wish the county have about 300 acres of land was close to Monrovia. I would have just let them go there to be friends, because it's pathetic. You got students, children, you have people with the higher degree of destitution undergoing such situation. I mean, as a man of God, as a child of God, you must have compassion for the people. It's not a political game. My political game is my work, my output. What am I doing in the district? How do I serve my people? If they are convinced and believe in me, in what I'm doing is the right thing, definitely I don't have to even beg for anybody.
So what are the immediate plans of the National Investment Commission as of late?
Well, to be frank, 2 months ago, we were invited by the National Commission, Investment Commission chair, to a meeting, and in that meeting, the chairman, McIntosh or so, Waterspoon, said that he wanted to hold on the code issue, so that we the leaders, that is the both chairman of shoe factory, chicken factory, myself, and a representative from finance and that of justice ministry,
so
to sit
the
down and
commission
discuss.
is opting for out-of-court settlement?
Yeah, settlement. I mean, to see how we can discuss. And what I suggested then to the chair was to at least pay a visit on the site, go and take a tour in that chicken factory to see the reality that is existing, so that we can come back on the table and see where to take it from. Why are waiting for that visitation? Some guys blew the thing out of proportion, that government is trying to evict them from the place, and what have you, they will resist.
So guys from where? The National Investment Commission?
Not from the National Investment, from the district, not necessarily from Chicken Factory community, where people start talking about they will resist any attempt, they will have their cutlasses. I mean, it bothered me, because we began a process of dialoguing. Now to have come out with such a pronouncement, I was stabbed on the back. So what I did was to tell the chairman, I said, no, that was not the right way to go, because even though, yes, we empathize with your plight, but it must be done in a more constructive manner and peaceful, to have a congeniality of existence. We can't come and say, well, we'll resist whatever the government says, but we must appeal and let them understand that it's not just realistic at this time to move those people there arbitrarily. We must have some understanding. In fact, one guy asked me, but suppose government want to rebuy another place, will people be willing to pay for whatever land they occupy? So well, that could be the cost. I mean, depending on the actors in the whole thing. So, but what I am doing as a leader is I have seen their plight, I empathize with them, but we are going to engage my colleague. This is why I sent in a proposed repeal act that will maybe change the flavor and turn the place to a residential place, and let's close the chapter once and for all.
So are you not considering the option of having another area where the residents can be relocated, perhaps at the cost of the national investment?
No, if that is bounded, I won't have any problem with that.
Because it's not the intent of having the Monrovia Industrial Zone as its current location. It's because of the proximity to the port.
The port, yeah.
And factory industry normally want to be closer to the port for transportation effectiveness.
That is fine.
You know, so we have to think about this, think it through, look at the cost of all of the two actions.
Well, again, we have to look at it and also see whether we can have some other alternative. We have from here Virginia, we have Broadville. Those are all close.
But these are all places that are all occupied.
Yeah. You know, even down to our port, Cape Mount. I mean, Cape Mount is a port area. I mean, we can create some industrial park. I mean, that in fact in itself will bring development to the nation, because if we just cluster everything in this little Monrovia, I mean, we would not be doing anywhere. Let's expand. Let's go further down into the land. Let Liberia expand. Let's develop Liberia. Not only Monrovia, we must come. I mean, we should come and
that's a responsibility that lies with you, the lawmaker, to see how you can expand national development. However, I'm trying to get to the National Investment Commission to see what they can contribute to this discussion this morning. I'm trying to get to George Wisners, and he's the executive director there. This is the True Breakfast Show. We're talking to Representative Richmond Anderson, and if you've been following the news, you will be in the know that there are attempts on the part of the National Investment Commission to ask the residents of the Chikiso factory and proposed Monrovia Industrial Zone to find an alternative area. The representative has submitted a bill to the national legislature, specifically the House of Representatives, to undo the 1965 law. Wisna, good morning. Good morning. My name is Mamadee Diakite. Hello?
I hear you.
Yes, we have a lawmaker, Representative Richmond Anderson, concerning the Monrovia Industrial Zone. I understand you've taken the residents to court. I'm seeking your contribution to this interaction.
Well, Mamadee, you are right. There is no court process, and because of that, the way the law works, is not being able to speak to something.
I'm not talking about the merit, just the intent. What do you? Because he's raising an argument that it's practically impossible to relocate all of the residents in that area.
Well, we are like parents. Of course, we are not heartless or oblivious to the conditions of people, but we also understand the intent of the creation of Monrovia Industrial Park. I don't think this is a matter that should be politicized or anybody should engage in populist politics at this time. The representative has rightly said that there is a dialogue process with the NICC that is ongoing, involving himself. I think we should all commit to that, because as policy makers, it is important that if we strive to resolve whatsoever issue, we should take on critical analysis and look at all of the implications of our action, including the intent for which a particular policy was drafted. If it has to be modified, what are the implications? Because we all
Weston, thank you very much for taking my call. Okay.
Okay.
Listen to him.
Yeah,
You want us
yeah.
to give room to the dialogue that has already kicked off between you, the residents, and of course, the National Investment Commission.
Well, this is what I was.
And he does not want populist, as he said, political angle to be exercised in this interaction.
Well, to be frank, if you had never invited me here, I'm not going to be here. You see, the issue here, I made it very clear. Those who raise the issue of antagonizing the situation of you brought this whole thing to the public domain. Because like I told you here that there was an ongoing dialogue. I was to have invited the chairman of the NRC to the community, to the factory for to see the reality that was existing. But to my surprise, I mean, the thing was flying in the media. In fact, people started calling international media. I'm very slow. When I look, a petition was filed. Now, you expect
Well,
to
we received information that the actual land space is about 1,100 acres.
1,100 acres?
Yeah, the total land space.
Well, if it is 111 acres,
And I understand you are also encouraging people to build on the land.
No, I'm not. I will never be that person. I'm not known for that. My only concern here is I am going by the law.
And you were asking a question about when the NDC was created. It was created in 1969.
Okay, 1969. Now, the act was passed or approved in 1966. So right after that, maybe 3 years to that or after that, the NRC was created. Now, I do know that the park, industrial park, in its originality, meant well for this nation because even to boom our economy. Okay, but look.
Well, because I see that's a contradiction. If the industrial park has a very good intent,
yeah, at the time.
yeah, I didn't know because it's forward moving.
No, but-
It's looking beyond those days.
But Mamadee,
So here you are now. You're trying to undo that good intent that you yourself has just recognized.
no, but Mamadee, if we look at what is in the document, and said maybe there are some modification or some amendment, but if no amendment, because I did all my research, I did not see any amendment version. You have what government at the time expropriated was 4,402 acres.
Okay.
Now NRC is saying it's 1,100 acres. Now I can even give you a copy of the act that I researched for. So meaning that we have to reclaim all our land because the entire belt from Southern Creek Bridge to the Pinfield area was in that
Okay,
in the document.
let me be a little bit hypothetical. What if the national legislature or the House of Representatives refuse to see your wisdom in this matter?
Well, going to my colleagues is just one step for it. The dialogue will continue because it's like if only.
So you will come back to the dialogue.
No, it's not about coming back to the dialogue. The dialogue is still pending. We'll begun that, but it's just because the people, decided to jump the boat. That placed me in a predicament. I couldn't sit down as a politician and say, well, my people cry
Now
on
you're bringing
me.
the politician thing inside that. Sometimes we have to reduce this thing about political,
It is
and
true.
think about the overall good of the country.
But Mamadee, suppose you were the one people said, look, Mamadee will.
No, sincerely, if I were the one, I would tell them, no, gentlemen, we gotta start thinking about leaving. Anyway, those are my thoughts.
So
on
many
that.
the representatives being coerced.
No,
These
not
people-
coercion. Not coercion. So they can say.
Okay, let me get the interaction of one of your colleagues, lawmaker. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, he's off 077469794. This is the True Breakfast Show. We're talking to Representative Richmond, the same.
077469793.
Okay, let me take 3 calls from here. Then, of course, we'll move over to Solomon where to and I get your interaction. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Collins and I'm calling from Dallas, South
Okay, you are a resident of the area.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Let me ask you one question. How did you acquire that land? That land is supposed to be for the National Investment Commission.
Yeah, sure, certainly. I remember as far back as 1976, my grandfather bought a parcel of land and 2 lots of land.
Bought it from who?
Yeah, bought a parcel of land for the community. And that's when I've been still developed. And the thing about the project that I'm pretty close to 6 years now. But basically, what I want to say here is that the National Investment Commission should be cognizant of environmental issues. It is not possible now for the government that will be coming clean between one ground that the money that the government look at it. Look at the issue about we are talking about
Okay, so thank you very much. 077469794. One more call. Good morning. Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Diakite, and I'm calling for the necessary this morning.
Mm-hmm.
The issue that what I Monrovia Industrial Park meeting, I used to government only pay and we want to invest with them. But Montserrado, the people live there, they live there for years now. But if you do that, they make it like a residential area. And forget about, you know, one of the places around that because of the Monrovia, it's like a quality development has come. If you get the people who live in the city now, like you want to give it up, they can give it, they can give it invested. That is not being Monrovia or Montserrado company. So we think that in our mind, that is government is ready to ensure that we want to extend it to residential area for them that industrial and agricultural business for now. That is different thing. Because what that is, you know how many people you get to know for that, they can go and change the back then. You know, what I have to put after the first year that you to engage the whole issue and the rest of that end. So I think it's good that government will be directly thinking with them and changing the money.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, let me take. Good morning. Please go ahead.
Good morning.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Good morning, Diwa. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Diwa. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mamadee. It's Boy Cooper from Caldwell.
Please go ahead, Bob.
Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning.
I would appreciate if you could play the very honorable thing in saying that knowing this is my property and because of force majeure, I left this property and I have come back and people occupying the place. I need a place. By law, it is mine. The place is for the Liberian government. If your people need the place, you, in your own capacity as lawmaker today, you have the right and privileges to lobby with national government that they will prioritize building estate houses far away from Monrovia capital into the Pinzane area, where you will prioritize your people relocation so that the industrial park can be re-established. I hope you won't take it as an offense.
Okay, boy, thank you.
I know you want to pressure.
Thank you. I think.
Thank you very much. Let me get intervention from
Like government did with Kibija, when we felt that the city was expanding, there was a need to improve the city. We relocated the culture center or relocated the culture center and brought in a hotel facility. Today, the rest of Malaga, because of the war, we had the rock pushing the urban pool. So people came to the city. So we just want to support a resolution in the legislature that's sponsored by the signature of the Honorable Anna to see how best
Thank you very much.
And Representative Eugene Farapaka says the place is an extension of Fuya District in Lofa County. Government can engage in a modest way to hammer out. So Fuya District Representative. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello.
Okay, thank you very much. Somebody's texted me that the meets and bounds are all clear. It seems that my earlier generated some argument. I've received several text messages, and one here from a lawmaker is saying that Article 38 of the Constitution provides that each house adopts its own rules and procedures. One of the procedures is to take Easter break. Okay, so in his mind he sees that it's justified, but I disagree. The Constitution of the Republic of Liberia is strong on the secularism of the state, and Easter break is not a rule or procedure, and if it's challenging the Supreme Court, I know the Supreme Court will declare as unconstitutional. However, this is no wahala, and we accept it, and the tolerance level is very high on that. Thank you very much. You want to respond to some of the comments?
Well, I just want to say I remain resolute in having a peaceful dialogue with the stakeholders in this whole episode. It's not about using force or trying to be antagonistic against the government because I'm part of the government. I will not feel good for anybody whatsoever to come against high against government because I'll be part of that. So I remain calm and just appeal to them that we will do the best we can to making sure that their quest is met, because and again I want the public to understand this. Maybe most of the Liberians might not know the historicity of this industrial zone. I will repeat myself. According to the act that created the industrial zone, it starts from Stoughton Creek Bridge after Jamaica Road Junction all the way after the double bridge. That was a park that was envisaged for industrial purposes. But today, all those places are being encroached, built on, sold to private people. Only chicken factory is within the industrial park that government or the NSA is claiming. What about the balance 3,000, some more 100 acres? If we have to reclaim our industrial park, let's do it holistically and with caution.
Okay, Honorable.
Yes.
And we have to go, we're out of time, but I'll give you the next 1 minute or two to give you a concluding statement. It seems most of your colleagues in the national legislature, specifically in the House of Representatives, agree with you that this is a worldwide venture, and I see you don't have any problem having the past.
Thank you very much. I must commend them, and I will appeal to my people to remain calm, and also to the NRC. Let's continue talking while we're trying to see how find other alternatives. Because in diplomacy, you don't have to just take to one area. You have to use several factors, several means, several options to making sure that there is a conclusive, amicable solution. So I must say thank you for the opportunity for my people to again hear me on this issue. I also want to make it known that I'm not politicizing this issue. It's about empathy and passion.
Don't run away from that. You politicizing it, you're a politician. Whatever you do be viewed from the angle of a politician trying to score some political goals.
Mamadee,
the political ball working that you see Honorable Snow has scored, Honorable Eugene Farapaka is going to play an extension. Why? Is it Fuya?
No, that extension of Fuya.
Extension of Fuya, you're trying to buy the, you're appealing to the sentiment of the people. These are the things politicians do. They don't care whatsoever, as long as they can score the political goal.
No.
And then they will move on and do what is.
I have to run away from here to go to my district because it's like expecting some people to fix some hand pump for my people. That's how I'm going.
Okay, no, wait, now you're good. Now let Tom do it because you're on camera, so they get it straight. Thank you very much for coming, Honorable. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And this is how we bring down the curtains on today's presentation of the True Breakfast Show. We've been here since 7:30 this morning, driving you through the early morning hours, give you the best in radio presentation. I have been Mamadee. Inshallah, we're going to be here tomorrow morning to give you a fresh edition of the True Breakfast Show. Stay tuned for the best of programs from our CI.